As you can see on screen, David Haye was not too impressed with Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko at their recent press conference. David Haye is not a guy who likes it when two fighters are overly respectful, particularly not in his division, the heavyweight division. He likes all the trash talk and the bad mouthing. That's something which he has employed himself throughout his career, and it's what he's criticizing AJ and Klitschko for not doing. He thinks they're boring. Now, David Haye apparently has a newspaper column in the Metro newspaper in the United Kingdom. And I've managed to find the column that he wrote yesterday, Wednesday, December 14th. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Metro newspaper, you can access their articles, their editions, each Metro edition online. If you go to their website, they have you sign up with your email address and they send you each edition of the Metro newspaper. So anyway, I'm going to quote David Haye directly here. He has some interesting things to say about the Joshua Klitschko situation. All right, so this is now going to be David Haye. He says, Anthony Joshua's fight with Wladimir Klitschko in April is being billed as the sport's biggest ever. If they pack out Wembley Stadium with 90,000 people, it could be in terms of stats, but whether it's the most exciting remains to be seen. Personally, I'm not convinced it will do big numbers on pay-per-view. On Saturday night in Manchester, I don't think the two of them looked like they wanted to fight each other. When they came face to face in the ring after AJ's win over Eric Molina, it looked to me as if they wanted to go on holiday together rather than fight. I think it will be an ugly fight. Then it will be time for Joshua to take me on after I've knocked out Tony Bellew on March 4th. Like everyone else in the Manchester arena, seemingly, Tony and I were booed, but I guess that's what happens when you rock up to another man's party. I think Bellew, I'm not sure I can get away with using my preferred name for him in my Metro column, realized he has let himself in for. What he has let himself in for. He had shock on his face when Callum Smith knocked out Luke Blackledge. I could see panic. He was thinking, if this is what two super middleweights do to each other, what's going to happen to me in March? He's putting himself in a dangerous position. It's the most dangerous fight he could possibly take. I'm the fastest, hardest hitting fighter on the planet. That reality will be hitting home now he has less than 12 weeks to prepare for me. Personally, I'm in good shape. I could have fought on Saturday's bill. Bellew has caught me at the wrong time in my life. I was ready to fight in September, but Shannon Briggs didn't happen, and then I trained for December before the Bellew chance came up. It's the fight that's got Britain salivating. At last month's press conference, Bellew struck me first, and I instinctively retaliated. I don't set out for drama. I want an easy life, believe it or not. But it's hard not to respond when you have someone like Bellew in your face. When I'm in Liverpool, people come and tell me, shut this guy up. I'm better than him in every department. Bellew's getting under everyone's skin, and it's up to me to shut him up. So those are the words of David Haye. He had a few things to say there about the Joshua Klitschko fight and a few things to say about Tony Bellew. David Haye's attitude and his way comes across very strongly in this particular article, because he doesn't seem, I don't know whether he doesn't seem in touch with reality, whether he's wishful thinking, or what the case may be. He said that everyone got booed at the Joshua Klitschko fight. No, everyone didn't get booed. A few people got booed. A lot of people got cheered. Shannon Briggs didn't get booed, he got cheered. So what's David A talking about? Everyone got booed. No, David. They're booing you specifically and cheering other people. He's also talking about he doesn't think Joshua Klitschko will do big numbers on pay-per-view. I beg to differ. I think it will do massive numbers. But of course, David Haye is, you know, he's a competitor. He sees himself as competition for Anthony Joshua, not only in terms of in the ring as a fighter, but he's also very mindful of being a competitor of Anthony Joshua's in terms of the popularity stakes and also the money. He does covet Anthony Joshua's position as the poster boy for British boxing, because he used to be that and he's trying to regain that position. So he's now trying to tear down Anthony Joshua and what have you. So I think, as I say, the pay-per-view numbers will be massive for Joshua Klitschko. We'll see whether David Haye can rival it with his fight with Bellew. I seriously doubt it, but he's certainly hoping it will. And what else did he say? He said that Bellew, I'm talking a bit more about Bellew now, but he also said that Bellew was shocked when he saw Luke Blackledge get knocked out. Bellew has knocked people like that out himself in spectacular fashion, you know, knock people out cold. So he certainly wasn't worried. But again, is this David Haye being deluded? Is it wishful thinking? Like, what is it? Because the reason why Tony Bellew turned around and started screaming at David Haye when Luke Blackledge got knocked out is because of the stuff that David Haye was saying, talking about Bellew getting carried out on a stretcher or putting him in hospital or whatever it was. Bellew was certainly not afraid, but he was just using that as an opportunity to have a go at David Haye, that's all. Believe you me, Tony Bellew has stretched people out like that many a time. So he knows all about the reality of boxing. You're not talking to some novice here, David. This is a guy who's been around a while. So it is what it is. Anyway, David Haye talking about Klitschko and Joshua, saying they should get a room. There's too much love there. Personally, I like trash talk, but if two fighters want to be respectful of each other, I don't mind that. In this instance with Joshua and Klitschko, I just feel as though when you are respectful with somebody like Klitschko, that plays into his hands. That's his arena. Now, obviously, you have to be yourself. And maybe Anthony Joshua is just not the disrespectful type. I don't know. Some people say he's not himself on camera and whatnot. But you have to be yourself if you're going to go down the trash talking route. You have to do it because it's natural to you. You have to act within character. You know, you have to be yourself and do what's comfortable for you. For Tyson Fury, he was perfectly at ease trash talking Wladimir Klitschko and talking down to him and making fun of him. He was perfectly comfortable doing that because that's what he does with everybody, pretty much. And I'm talking about his opponents. Whereas with Joshua, all this respect and, oh, yes, Mr. Klitschko, and oh, I look up to you. And that is a concern because, as I say, that plays into Wladimir Klitschko's hands. So I can see what David Haye is saying in terms of there wasn't really much trash talk and they seemed like friends. I don't think they did seem like friends. I just think it was the Wladimir Klitschko arena of the corporate behavior which he tries to push, you know, which he tries to come with in the build up to his fights. All wearing suits and, you know, all looking very civilized and talking all civilized and what have you. So, yeah, drop your comments in the comment section below. Bit of a meandering video here, people. But I'd like to get your take on what you think of David Haye's comments and his Metro column in the Metro newspaper. I never even knew he had this. I've just discovered this today. So, yeah, let me know how you feel, people. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.